Welcome back to part 4 of my first Pokemon Nuzlocke experience. I played Pokemon Emerald Seaglass, and on this episode, we caught a shiny. We experienced our first devastating loss. We watched 2 Titans enter combat. But let's back up. Let's start from the beginning, because this episode didn't exactly start how we planned. Oh, because I never switched it, because I'm stupid. No! We're in the Weather Institute. You only missed 1 battle, so... Luckily I did only miss 1 battle, so it's not that big of a deal. But we're making our way through the Weather Institute right now, and we're trying to make sure that we get the whole way to the admin at the end. If we get her out of here, we can save the scientist, and maybe earn a sick reward. Good win.
That was easy.
After saving the scientist, he gives us a free cast form. Hey, I got a free cast form. We're gonna name him Balls.
I need to see you a boss.
Okay. After the Weather Institute, we make our way up the route, and who do we run into? It's Brendan again. But this time, I'm feeling way more confident about myself and my battling skills, so I'm really not too worried this time. Brendan leads with an Arcanine to where I throw out Muffin so I could proc the Intimidate, but Arcanine also had Intimidate and Extreme Speed. Luckily, Muffin is a tank and had no issue taking down this Arcanine. After destroying the Arcanine, he brings out a Mantine, to which we decide to switch into Raichu, of course. This is where we start feeling extremely confident. We use Shockwave, and wouldn't you believe we were just 1 HP away from knocking out this Mantine. After we battled through Confusion, we did knock out that Mantine. And lastly, Brendan brings out his ace, Grovyle, to which we decide to change into Luca because at this point, we still think Grovyle is a grass type. After going for Flame Burst, we quickly realize that Grovyle is not a grass monotype in this game. Grovyle is a dragon grass type in this game. So after a couple bites, we decide maybe we should switch into Fish, our Gyarados, who I believe has Ice Fang. That would give us the quad effective move that we really need to get rid of this Grovyle. Grovyle is now a... Damn, that's crazy. A grass dragon. Which is really crazy. Exactly, and that's why we have Fish. After defeating Brenda, we make our way north towards Fortree City, but we need to make it through Fortree City so we can see Steven to get the Devonscope. Oh wait, I don't know how to actually get through the town. Oh, there we go. Well, it used to be a bunch of, After we make it through, we get a brand new encounter, an Absol. And we may not use it for a while. Actually, we could probably use it for the 7th gym, if we make it that far. Funny enough, I actually used this Absol during the Elite Four in this run. If we make it that far tonight, that is. We will be making it that far. We will win this. With all that confidence, I sure hope we win this. What's up, Steven? Use the Devon scope? Devon? I don't like what they just did with his tongue. After the inappropriate animation by the Kecleon, we decide to demolish it. After Steven flies away, it's time for us to begin team building for the next gym. We decide to bring in Eyeball, the Magnemite, but first we want to evolve it into a Magneton. We can evolve him right now to Magnezone. Let me not make that same mistake I made with Pikachu, though. At this point, I was still reliving the issue that we have with evolving the Pikachu too quick, but regardless to that, it was time to take on Winona, who led with a Fearow. We decided to lead with Fish because, well, having an Ice Fang, it was way too good of a setup to not start him. And luckily, we got her to waste her Hyper Potions very early on in this match, but we also got very lucky with the freeze. Next, Winona decides to switch in to a Skarmory, so we switch in to our Arcanine, Luca. And luckily, having Intimidate and having a Fire-type Pokemon is exactly what we need to take on a Skarmory. Next up, Winona decides to pull out a Pelipper, so we switch into Raichu. An electric Pokemon is exactly what we need right now to take on Pelipper and get that quad-effective electric type move, and just like that, Pelipper was taken down. Next up, Winona pulls out a Tropius, so we switch back into Luca thinking fire is going to be the most effective thing here to take this down. Tropius then sets up Sunny Day so we can use Solar Beam, but really all that does is boost our fire type moves so we can more easily take down this Tropius, with a little help from extreme speed of course. Lastly, Winona brings out her ace Pokemon, Altaria. We contemplate bringing out Eyeball, but ultimately we decide we should probably bring out Fish. The ice typing is just way too good to pass up on a dragon flying type Pokemon. Again, getting that quad effectiveness, I'm really hoping we can take this down really quick. Because, well, the Altaria already started with the Dragon Dances, and if anyone knows anything about the Altaria in Winona's gym, is that once it sets up a couple of these Dragon Dances, it is an absolute monster, and it could be a game ender for us. So we switch into Eyeball, but she hits us with Earthquake.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So we go back into Fish, get the Intimidate, and we just go ahead and hit with the Ice Fang and end this all so we can finally get out of this gym with just one single loss to Winona. Luckily though, we were able to take down all of Winona's bird brain Pokemon so we can continue our story.
Your bird intelligence is no match for my people intelligence.
Alright, next encounter. At this point, we were really hoping for a good replacement for Eyeball. Not that he was a staple of the team, but we did find a Tauros. And, you know, Tauros isn't a terrible Pokemon. We named it Beefcake, and we moved it on to Lily Cove City. But could you guess who's actually waiting for us in Lily Cove City? It's Brendan. Again. This is the second time we've had to fight him in this episode alone. Honestly though, after just taking down Winona and taking down that crazy Altaria, I was extremely ready to give him the smackdown. Unfortunately, we didn't lead with the correct Pokemon, so Luca did take a little bit of damage to start, but it's okay because he demolished that Tropius. So then it was time for him to bring in his Arcanine, so we switch in to Fish. Who else? Fish does his thing, hits the Intimidate, but unfortunately, he hit us with a Thunder Fang, and we almost lost Fish. We literally had like 1 HP. So we switched into Noodle, who would be completely impervious to the electric move, and we easily take out the Arcanine. Then it was time for the Sceptile, the dragon grass Pokemon. So we went into Muffin, who has fairy type moves, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. It tried to cross poison us, but it couldn't do very much. It wasn't stab, so we did survive, and with that, we're on to the next Pokemon. Who else but the Pelipper? We do not have our Raichu right now, so we decided to go back into Noodle. Noodle has Rock Slide, so I figured maybe that would be okay. But we actually missed the first one, and when we try it a second time, we do hit, but it doesn't do nearly enough damage. However, we did get the flinch, so that was perfect. So then we slap Pelipper with a Muddy Water, and we get out of here. Brendan has been taken down again for the second time this episode. And we almost lost Fish. Well, we almost lost Gyarados. But now it's time to make our way to Mount Pyre, because the leader of Team Aqua and the leader of Team Magma are trying to steal the red and the blue orb, trying to wake up Groudon and Kyogre. So we have to fight a couple grunts along the way, but eventually we do make it to the top of Mount Pyre, where unfortunately it seems as though the orbs have already been stolen and we are completely out of luck. But what we do know now is that we need to take down the leaders of Team Aqua and Team Magma. So we need to find their super secret hidden bases.
It's a secret.
Shut up.
It's time to make our way to Lava Ridge Town, because that is the closest place we can get to the Jagged Pass, which is where the secret hidden base for Team Magma has been hiding this whole time. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of battles in here. And a lot of battles we did have on the way. I actually don't think I have to fight Maxie here. I was wrong. Maxie got really mad that we even showed up, so he decided to use the blue orb on the red Pokemon, thinking it was a really good idea.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Yep, he's about to piss him off.
After Groudon flew away, he was so upset that he blamed us for his mistake. It was time to get to battle, and I again accidentally led with the wrong Pokemon. But we switched into Fish, it went for a ground move, we're a flying type, no issue, Ice Fang, dead. Not too bad for a bad start. So everyone got a couple levels, someone got a new move from the level up, and the next Pokemon that he brings in is an Ursaring, which luckily enough we still have Monkey on the team, so we can bring him in to hopefully one-shot the Ursaring. I decided not to take any chances, so I went with the Z move, all out pummeling, to make sure that I knocked out this Ursaring. I don't know why I was scared of it, but I was, and I knocked it out in one shot just like I wanted to do. So he decided to go into Crobat, so I went in to Noodle. And we went with Rock Slide hoping it would get the one shot. Again, it did not. He used a super potion, so we went with Rock Slide again anyway, and we got the knockout. Next was a Camerupt. We decided to keep Noodle in for this. We Muddy Watered, one shot, knockout. And just like that, Maxie has been taken down. Now it's time to retrieve that blue orb and find the next hideout.
Honestly, he didn't stand a chance. I was a little nervous. I didn't think we had to fight him now.
After defeating Maxie, I decided to go to the Safari Zone, but I ran into a shiny Skiploom. Too bad it's a Skiploom. However,
I don't remember the Pokemon we caught on this route.
it was the Tauros Beefcake. We named him Sparkles, and it was time to keep pushing forward. We got our first shiny. How exciting! And then it was time for the Team Aqua hideout. And we finally get to the end after all of the annoying battles to take on the admin, Matt.
Hey Matt, came all this way, had to explain, direct from Domingo.
To be completely honest, Matt really didn't stand a chance, and nor was he a difficult challenge, so we pushed right through. Unfortunately, Archie did escape in the submarine that they stole from Slateport City, so next is to the next town, or city I guess, because now we're on our way to Moss Deep City. Unfortunately, as soon as we get to Moss Deep City, we learn that something is wrong with the Space Center.
Yeah, something's wrong with the Space Center. That's what I kind of remembered.
On our way up to the Space Center, though, we run into this nice girl next to a white rock. And apparently, if you use a wishing stone on the rock, you will get a very special Pokemon, which that will be the encounter for Moss Deep City. So who do you think it is? Wait, if you're liking this video, please like and subscribe so you can get more of my content. I stream here on YouTube and Twitch on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Thanks. Now back to the video.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu! It's...
Yo! I just got a Jirachi? So we caught the Jirachi and named it French Fries. However, we did decide that it would be against the rules to use this Pokemon because it is a legendary Pokemon. So we decide to go ahead and box it, and it's time to head to the next gym. Tate and Liza are a double battle gym leader, so this is going to be a little interesting. Maybe they're going to be like super low level, right? They weren't super low level, but they were under leveled compared to us. They led with Claydol and Miss Magus, and we led with Noodle and Balls. The whole plan was to get Rain Dance set up, so that way all of our water moves from Noodle would smack, and that way Balls is a water type Pokemon, so we would easily be able to take out the Lunatone and the Soul Rock. That was the whole strategy for this whole gym. Unfortunately, it didn't go quite as easy as I thought, but it did still work out in the end, I can say that much. But Balls did get crushed, but that's okay. That was the whole plan, was just to use him for this gym, and he did his job by setting up Rain Dance. Luckily, we were able to take down the clay doll, so we got the soul rock out. And we got very lucky with the water spout from Big Boy that easily took out the soul rock. So all that's left is the Lunatone and the Mismagius. And the Lunatone got smacked by Muddy Water. Unfortunately, this Mismagius is really posing an issue. But we somehow procced again Quick Claw, and we were able to smack with Water Spout. And with an extra Muddy Water, we were able to take down Tate and Liza easy peasy, no problem. Wow. We'll take it. We take the Mind Badge. The next gym I'm scared of, but not as scared of. He has 5 Pokemon though. That's the only thing that makes him scary in comparison to them. Is that Calm Mind I just got? Yeah, we could use that, I'm sure, on something. We didn't teach anyone Calm Mind in this game. With Tate and Liza defeated, it's time to go do our job at the Space Center and help Steven take on Team Magma once again. Why can't these guys just stop messing things up, you know? So unfortunately, we have to fight Maxie again, even though we just beat him and just got out of a tough double battle gym leader. We now have to fight him in double battle format. Luckily though, we have Fish and we were able to crush the Gliscor. Oddly enough, we learned Outrage on our Arcanine, and I don't know if that'll ever come in handy, but it's a good thing to have for now. He sends out a Shiftry, and we decide to go with Luca and Ice Fang, the Crobat. We did get the Intimidate off to lower everyone's attack, at least on the enemy team, so that was solid. So we went with an Ice Fang on the Crobat. We're really trying to take it down at this point. We did go for a Flamethrower on the Shiftry, and that was enough to knock out the Shiftry. Next in is a Camerupt, but first we take out that Crobat with Ice Fang. Man, Fish is really a good Pokemon. I don't know where we would be right now without him. It says at the highest level is 43. Dodrio. Okay. Okay, we have to... We pull Luca out, Noodle back in. Waterfall. I'm more scared of the Camerupt. Spoiler, I shouldn't be. Oh no. I made a terrible mistake and let Fish get killed. I had no idea that Dodrio was gonna have Thunderous Kick. I didn't check any of the documentation before this fight because I was overconfident. I actually thought that I was having no issues with these fights, so there was no need to look ahead, and I miscalculated. And it was a huge mistake. So now we are down one of our ace Pokemon, and I don't know how much better this run's gonna go after this loss. What I do know is that we cannot afford to lose Luca as well, so I switched into Baked Bean and got another Muddy Water off, taking out the Dodrio, but now we have to deal with an Ursaluna, and we almost lose Baked Bean as well, so hopefully we can survive this fight without another casualty. Luckily, we did get the crit on the Muddy Water, and we got out of here not scot-free, but with only one loss. It was a big loss. Fish was a huge part of the team, but we have to keep pushing. So now that Maxie's gone, it's time to start looking for Setopolis, which you have to dive underwater in order to get to. So it's time to go swimming. For some reason in this game, whenever you dove, you couldn't see anything and you were completely blind. So it took a long time.
I'm a genius.
No joke, it probably took me 15 minutes before I decided to just look it up. I decided to go heal real quick and talk to chat.
I don't even think I need to heal. I'm just doing it.
We now need to go find Archie, who stole the submarine, and I believe he's hidden in Seafloor Cavern. But unfortunately, this is one of my least favorite things in Pokemon games whenever they hit you with a ton of puzzles. It's never been my strong suit, so it is what it is. But there were multiple puzzles here, and I can say with complete honesty, my least favorite type of puzzle, strength puzzles. There were a lot of puzzles. 3 is way too many. But we finally find Kyogre, and guess who wants to fight us? It's Archie, and he's not happy. Now it's time for like our 6th or 7th boss fight in this game. I'm telling you, this was one of the most stressful episodes I've had to deal with. But he started with a Whale Lord, I switched into Sparkles, our shiny, now Jumpluff, and we decided to set up Leech Seed. I like making immortal plant Pokemon, so this was a really good plan. I went for the Stun Spore so I could try to get the paralysis every now and then, but unfortunately there's mist all around us, so I could not effectively paralyze it. So I decided to keep using the move Matcha Gotcha, and we'll just keep regaining health, and we'll keep going back and forth on this tug of war of health, and I'm gonna win this. I'm a grass Pokemon. There's no way we're gonna lose to a water. And just like Maxie, for some reason, Archie also has a Crobat. So we figure we should probably switch in, and we went to Aspen, our Ampharos. We decided to hit it with a Discharge, and wouldn't you know it, we absolutely crushed it. Archie is now trying to send in a Breloom, and honestly, I didn't see this one coming, so we went into Luca because we figured it's a physical attacker. If we can get the Intimidate, it'll be most beneficial. So we hit it with a Flamethrower, and wouldn't you know, we just one-shot it. But then he tries to go in for his ace, Sharpedo. So we go back into Aspen, and we try with Discharge once again. He hits us with a tough Liquidation, but it was no chance against Aspen. I don't know if you know this, but it seems as though Maxie and Archie use the exact same brain cell, because he uses the red orb on the blue Pokemon and pisses him off.
Unbelievable. He woke up the water god. Oh, see ya.
Now the world's in a cataclysmic event where it's trying to rapidly drought and flood at the same time. Now these two Pokemon are locked into a face-to-face combat.
Oh, yeah. Look at this sick animation. This game came out in, what, 2003, 2004? Maybe even earlier?
One thing I like about Pokemon lore is these two instantly are like, it's on sight. But anyway, we hit up Wallace in the Cave of Origin, and he asks us if we know where Rayquaza is, because Rayquaza can break these guys up. We tell him Sky Pillar, and he leaves us.
Hell yeah.
So now it's our turn. It's time to go to Sky Pillar. But we'll save that for the last episode. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching part 4 of my very first Pokemon Nuzlocke experience. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I make videos as often as I can, and I stream on Twitch and YouTube Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I'll see you there.